Good morning from Action4Equity, everyone. Our school year is starting again, so that means the Board of Education is meeting again. The first meeting of the 2019-2020 school year is tomorrow, and we wanted to make sure to help everyone out, figure out what's going to be on the agenda and how you can speak at the meetings if you're interested in speaking on one of the items on the agenda or on something else. It took us a while to figure out how to navigate the board website to find all the information we wanted to find, and so we wanted to share our knowledge with everyone in the community so that it makes it easier for you and you don't have to spend all that time figuring it out like we did. So if you're on the Winston-Salem County School homepage, this is the main page. You can see there the news about the new superintendent, which is exciting, and all the other information on the side over here as well. But what we're here to talk about is the Board of Education. So if you click here, it will take you to the board website. You can see our board here, all 9 of them, and more information down below about different things. On the side, you can see the menu of all the information that's here. Now, tomorrow is the first meeting of the 2019-2020 school year, so we're going to click over here and see the meeting agenda to see what's going to be on it so we know if we want to attend and if we want to speak about what's going to be on the agenda. So you can see this goes way back in time to see all the different meeting agendas, but we're interested in the one tomorrow night. So when you click on it, you can see all the things that are going to be on the docket for them to talk about. They do go into closed session at the very beginning, which starts at 5:30. The public cannot go to that session. So the open session for the public starts at 6:30. I usually try to get there a few minutes early to find a seat and get settled before it gets going and make sure I can sign up to speak if I want to, because the first thing that's really important on the agenda is the public comment section. If you want to speak about something that's on the agenda, one of these items down here, you can, which is great. You get 3 minutes. And you have to get there before 6:30 to sign up for that. If you want to speak on something on the agenda and speak before they start the discussion and the voting, then you've got to get there before 6:30. Again, I usually try to get there at 6:20 just to be safe. When you walk in the door, there'll be a kind of reception desk, and that's where they have the sign-ups available. So for you to sign up, you can grab an agenda and everything else. Now, down here, you'll see discussion items. These are things that they're going to be talking about, maybe reporting out on. It may not be something that's finalized and ready for a vote, but they're just reporting, giving progress updates, and other information. Under action items, these are the things that they're voting on. So if you see something here that you are interested in, I will show you how to figure out what they're really talking about, because it's a lot of stuff, and you're thinking, okay, what is this Chamber of Commerce contract? Or what is this SRO contract with the Kernersville Police Department, or this one with the Sheriff's Department? So if you want more information, I'll show you how to get to that. But down here, you'll also see the last thing I wanted to show you is the meeting open to public. That is the section where you can speak for 3 minutes on any topic. It doesn't have to be on the agenda. It can be something else you want to talk about. It can be congratulations, thank you for doing this for my community or my school or whatever. You can talk about anything here. You get 3 minutes. And you can sign up for that even after the meeting has started. Again, when you come in the door before the meeting, the sign-ups will be at the reception desk. But if you're in the middle of the meeting and you're like, hey, I have something to say about this, you can go to the table that's at the back of the room where the staff sits, and they'll help you sign up to speak at the end. You do have to sit there and be patient and wait because they do put it at the very end. So just be ready, bring something to keep you occupied, bring some water, because usually the meetings last a couple of hours. Okay, so back to these items on the agenda. You're thinking, what does all this mean? What are they talking about? So if you go over here to board books, it will show you what they're actually talking about, give you some documents you can comb through to look at that. So here's the one for this meeting. So again, here's the agenda. The different thing about this is that these are all links. So if you say, want to tell me more about this driver's ed contract, you can click on it. Loading. And then you can read more about the contract, see what the recommendations are from the superintendent. And again, here's the contract. So you'll know a little bit more about that. Say that you wanted to find out more about, let's see, what's on here. That looks interesting. Oh, what's this teacher supplement? We know we've been very interested in that. There's been a lot of talk about that. And so you can go down here and see what the recommendation is and see the supplement schedule. So again, if you're just looking at the agenda, you don't know what any of this really means other than that they're going to talk about it. But this is where you can get into the meat of it to see what they're planning to do, what they're recommending. And so you can give your comments on what you think should be done. And maybe it's something you love, maybe it's something you don't love, and maybe you just have some questions you would like answered. They can't usually answer your questions at the meeting. The board can't respond to you during your comments, but sometimes they will refer you back to a staff member who can help you figure something out. So again, all of these blue ones are links to different information. You can see the contract with the Forsyth County Association of Educators, all these different things. So that's really helpful. Now, the other important thing is that there's a big school board meeting, but there's also all these committee meetings that happen every month. Some of them happen more often than others. First, let's go look at the calendar over here. Board of Education meeting calendar. This shows you all the meetings. So this one here, this is the big Board of Education meeting with all 9 together. But here, there's also, for example, tomorrow there's going to be a 4 o'clock Finance Committee meeting and then a 4:30 Building and Grounds Committee meeting. And you can see next week the Curriculum Committee meeting, and then there's also other committees, School Choice, Climate, Culture, and Equity, which Action4Equity sits on as well. So you can see the schedule for the entire year. And occasionally they'll call some special meetings. So just keep an eye on the website, but they usually update with that, which is helpful. You just have to keep an eye on it. So back to committees, if you want to say, like, what are they talking about at Building and Grounds? Or what are they talking about at the Curriculum Committee this year? This is where you find all that information. So you can see the list of committees, who's on the committees, who's the chair, who's the vice chair. These are the standing committees here, Building and Grounds, Curriculum, Finance, and Policy. And then the special committees, the Formula Review, which is about compensation for the staff, Climate, Culture, and Equity, and then the School Choice Committee. So over here on the side, if you go back up, you can see the different committees. So at Action4Equity, because we started and had our roots in the Action for Ashley movement, and we're still very involved in that and pay close attention to it, we pay a lot of attention to the Building and Grounds Committee. So I'm in this page quite a bit. You can see the committee members. You can see the meeting agendas from the last few meetings. And you can see the meeting for tomorrow, the agenda for tomorrow's meeting. So they're going to be talking about Con Oak, Lawrence Paisley, and Wiley Middle School. So say you're like, oh, what's going on at Wiley? I do want to find out more about that. So you can click on the link again, because this is the board book part of it, so that is really helpful because you can find more information. So you can see what their plans are, what they're proposing, and all that information here. And you can go back, and maybe you want to look at what's going on at Con Oak. So you can click on that and see what they're going to be doing there, which is great. It looks like it's a pretty short document, but at least it gives you a little more information about what they mean when they're talking about a Con Oak Elementary report or update. So the other nice thing is they have these agendas on all of the committee websites, but down below they have the meeting minutes. So if it's been an ongoing thing like Ashley or Wiley, they've been talking about for a while, we just looked at what's going on at the Wiley Middle School gym, that's been something that's come up before, you can look back at these other agendas and see the notes of what they've been talking about. See, there's Wiley again. So that's really helpful because you can kind of go back and follow the story or follow the path of what they've been talking about. You do have to spend some time kind of digging in, but if you're like me, that's kind of fun sometimes to dig into what the school board's been up to. And again, they have all those options for all of the committee meetings. So under finance, you can see the agendas and you can see the minutes. So that's how you can find everything. Now, if we go back to the Board of Education main page, again, so let me just go over all of that again so you know where to find it. Here's where all the committees are. So you can see all the committees. That's where you can find their notes and all that information. You can see the school board meeting agendas here, the board books here, and the calendar here. If you have any other questions, let us know. We are happy to help figure things out for you with the website. Just comment here or send us a message. Thanks. Have a good day.